What you're suffering from is a lack of motivation. And what you don't know you're suffering from is actually a lack of dedication. You won't. You can't. Today's not the day. You go to the shower, you just turn around and go back to bed because today's not the day. Maybe I should give up. This isn't for me. Too lazy. Today's not the day. And you end up eating a bag of Doritos. So there's this saying that motivation lasts a week and dedication lasts forever. But how can one be dedicated, and what's the difference between motivation and dedication? First of all, you might want to ask, why does motivation last only a week? There's a saying that ideas have a shelf life, which pretty much means that they only last for a while until you don't want to do them anymore. Let's say you want to go become most followed TikToker in the world or something. Whatever it is, the idea will be there. The execution won't. The planning might start. You might be super motivated, but that will only last a week unless you start to execute it. And let's say you're trying to become a music producer. The first piece of advice I can give you for anything that you're embarking on, any journey that you're about to start, is that things take time. That's something I learned through strength training, actually. People who consistently gym are people who are dedicated, not motivated. Are you really going to tell me that you wake up every day with the same amount of motivation to get out of bed, get your clothes on, go to work, and then go to the gym? That's just not happening. The difference between people who are successful and the people who are just average are those days that you wake up and you just feel like not getting out of bed, not going to work. Today I'm gonna lie in bed and watch TikTok all day, and that's what I'm gonna do. People like that will never make it as fast as they want to, and will probably eventually just give up because they'll have too many of those off days where they don't feel motivated, and over time it's just all gonna go away. And that's really where the saying actions speak louder than words come from, because you can say all of these things, you can say that you want to do all of these things, but unless you actually put it into practice, unless you actually execute your ideas, then it's really just an idea. One thing that when I started going to the gym, and I've been gymming for only a few months really, when I started seeing progress, it was actually, I thought back, it wasn't the days I was super motivated to go to the gym that I was proud of. It was the days where I felt so tired and so sick. I mean, not physically sick, but sick of doing the same thing all the time and going to the gym all the time. I just felt not motivated at all. My mind was somewhere else. I didn't want to go to the gym. It was those days that I actually did go to the gym, do something, and at least be consistent. Those were the days that I was proud of. Not the days I was super motivated and hitting PRs. I only hit those PRs because of the days where you're not motivated at all to do anything, yet you still get the job done. Same thing applies for my music right now. Like, sure, right now I'm running on motivation. It's only been a few months since I started, but I'm going through an FL Studio course just so I know everything that I can know about FL Studio. On days where I just want to watch YouTube, I just want to watch Netflix, man, I just want to lie in bed and watch TikTok. On those days where I decide, nah, I need to continue this course, those are the days I will be proud of in the future, because what you're doing is increasing productivity and staying dedicated to your goals. So now you may ask, Kaden, how do you stay dedicated? There's a few things that I do to stay dedicated instead of motivated, because after a while, if you guys know streamers, for example, content creators, they get bored because it becomes their job. The only reason that they keep on doing it is because they get small bits of motivation here and there. A few months, they maybe get a lot of fans, people saying like, oh, you're amazing, content's great, and that's what keeps them going. But to really be consistent in content, when it really feels like a job instead of something that you do for fun, that's where they put into practice dedication instead of motivation. Let's be honest, you're gonna lose motivation at some point in time, whatever you're doing, whether it's music production, trying to become an influencer, trying to hit body goals at the gym, or whatever it is that you're doing, or whatever job that you're in. So here's some ways to stay dedicated. Number one is to make a vision board. A vision board is really, you can put whatever you want on it. Usually it's a cork board. What you do is you write quotes, put pictures, you can really put whatever you want on it. But the whole idea behind a vision board is for you to be able to look at it every day. So mine's over there right now. To look at it every day, or whenever you want, whenever you're feeling like today is just not the day, man, you just look at it. What it should have on it is your long-term goals, where you want to be in the future, and quotes that you live by to keep you going. If you want to look at mine, for example, I got pictures of being a big DJ on a stage. That's a huge goal of mine, and I'd be super happy if that happened one day. Becoming a music producer, it doesn't even have to be in what you're doing right now. Like, expand. If it's body goals, like like, what do you want to look like in 2 years down the line? But it should be long-term things that you're aiming for so that your mind keeps focus on your goals and where you want to be in the future. So I know that helps a lot of people. Having a vision board and being able to physically look at it every day, realize and reset your brain into thinking that, yeah, that's where I want to be, and every day counts. Every hour I spend doing this will build up slowly to that thing. That's where I said, like, things take time. It really does take time. I have my vision board up there. If you guys want to know what mine looks like, how I made it, and the thought process behind it, then it'll be a future video. So stay tuned if you want to see it. The next thing that I do to stay dedicated is reflect. People have different ways of reflecting on things. You can journal, you can just lie in bed at the end of the day and think. That's what I do. So many different ways to reflect on your day. Essentially what it is, I like to think about, what did I achieve today? And if today was my last day on earth, would I be satisfied with it? So one of the quotes I live by, I know it's really cheesy, but it's live every day like it's your last. I would always be thinking, like, what can I do today to make myself productive and make this day a good day for me? Just always keep in the back of your mind that things do take time to like make real progress. The good news is that every hour you put into things counts to your growth exponentially in whatever you're doing. The reason I put hours a day into learning FL Studio is because it increases productivity, betters my workflow, so that when I'm creating tracks and stuff in the future, the tracks that I'm working on right now, I can actually work a lot more efficiently, save a lot of time by doing all this tedious stuff. And that's why I stay dedicated to it. So reflecting on your day is really important. It's not the huge achievements that you achieve that actually make people happy. What makes me happy personally, and that's what I found, is the small things in your day that you achieve and you're proud about, because is getting you one step closer to where you want to be. It's really simple stuff too. If you think about an average person, they would be watching Netflix all day. They'd procrastinate their homework. They'd be scrolling through TikTok instead. And one of the things that I always love to do is, okay, what did I achieve today? And what can I achieve tomorrow that would make myself more productive? And if you do just 1% better each day, or 1% more productive in a year, you'll be 365% more productive. Every day does count, and every minute that you put into your work, not going through TikTok and YouTube and stuff, does count. Always count the small achievements. That will also keep you on top of what you need to do to achieve your goals. Ultimately, stay dedicated to achieving them. I guess that moves me on to my third point, which is, how do I make sure I'm productive today? Like I said, I like to think about, what did I achieve today and what can I achieve tomorrow, which will be 1% better. I always like to be more productive tomorrow somehow, or at least do things that have a schedule. So if you're not a very scheduled person and you find it easy to procrastinate, this helps a lot. On an iPhone, what I like to do to make sure I get done in a day, right, is I have this widget of reminders in the bottom right, and it says do. I like to write in my reminders like what I have to do that day. For example, FL Studio course, spend 2 hours on this track, spend an hour learning this, gym. I even put essentials in my life like buying toiletries and stuff like that, because if I don't get that done, like I tend to procrastinate that a lot. Apart from like putting in your reminders where you can actually like tick off what you've done, I also put stuff in my calendar. People generally use calendars for doing scheduling things that they have to show up to, but I also schedule what part of my day I'm going to be using to do stuff. I have quite a load of stuff that I like to do. There's gymming, creating tracks, learning new stuff about music production, and also doing this, creating content. I like to allocate parts of my day for specific stuff so that I know that this part of the day I can do this, instead of spending an hour trying to think about whether I want to create content or produce music, which is an hour wasted. If you find that helpful, or if you think you could do something like that for yourself, then just try it out. That's a point that will help you with time management a lot, making sure that you actually achieve stuff in your day, become more productive, and in turn more dedicated to achieving your goals. And the last thing is to focus on one thing at a time. For a lot of people, especially me, like I tend to lose focus on things a lot. I'll focus on one thing for a while, get bored of it, and go to the next thing. And that's fine. If you're really trying to like set your goals on something that's really important to you, creating this track, you should prioritize your time in a way that you calendar yourself to spend so much more time on producing this track than anything else that you're doing in the day, which I'm really bad at, because there's a track sitting there right now that I should be working on, but instead I'm recording this video. So I'm doing like 2 things at once. I've watched multiple videos, read in multiple different psychology books that if you want to become successful at one thing, then you should be focusing on that one thing, nothing else. Putting 90% of your time into it and the other 10% cooling down and doing whatever. Try and focus on one thing at a time. Try not to get distracted. To summarize everything, if it helps, first of all, create a vision board so that you can look at it every day and make sure you stay dedicated on the path to where you want to be in the future. Second of all, schedule your stuff by using reminders so that you can tick it off once you've done it. Gives sort of satisfaction to yourself. If not, make sure you better your time management by putting in your calendar. Make sure you focus on one thing at a time. Try to not bounce between things. I know in music production it's different because sometimes you want to get away from the track and do something else and then come back to it later, which is why I do content as well. Try and focus on one thing if that's what you want to be successful at. And reflect on your day so that you can be more productive and make sure that you're actually doing stuff with your day. Either journal it or just think about it, like what have you done today and what can I do better tomorrow? So yeah, those are pretty much my tips for being dedicated over motivated. Remember that on the days that you aren't motivated or you wake up feeling like shit, you wake up feeling like, yeah man, I can't do this today, you're losing motivation, make sure that you know that those are the days that separate the good from the great. Stay on the grind, stay focused, remember what you're aiming for and what you want to achieve, and I'm sure you'll make it there one day. And if you want to see if I stay dedicated to content creation and music production, then subscribe, join the journey. Comment down below if you think that I'm gonna give up one day. I probably am. We'll see. We'll see where it takes me. And if this is your first time coming across my channel, I'm currently on a journey of becoming a music producer and creating content at the same time. Trying to prove that music production is a lifestyle and vlogging it on the way. So if you guys are interested, please do subscribe and look out for more videos like this in the future.